Hello, this is Broyar, and welcome back to another episode of our Let's Play for Banner Saga. Or I guess it's the Banner Saga, if you will. It's kind of a Viking-themed tactical game. 2D, for the most part. I mean, 2D, what do they call it? The art is 2D, but the perspective is a little bit of an isometric, right? So, I know there's a name for that, I'm just forgetting. But I've played this before, as I think I mentioned in the last episode. It's been a very long time since I played it, and I have not ever featured it on the YouTube channel, so I thought it might be kind of fun to do. Plus, there's a second and a third of this game out that I have never played. So eventually, I think I might try to get to that if this first playthrough looks okay. Just playing on normal difficulty, nothing crazy. But yeah, let's go ahead and get right back into this. We're very early in the game. We're just at the very first town here. We have an option to talk to this guy over here, which I forget his name all of a sudden, Hokun or something like that. Or the prince over here. And then we have the Great Hall. I think I'm going to go talk to the prince to see what he has to say. Is this the right place? You find the prince at an inn. Guards blanket the building, including a sharp-eyed varl who must be working for Ludin. A woman in red eventually waves you over and stands nearby, arms crossed. Greetings, Prince Ludin. Yes, you're with Wagner. I don't remember you. Not exactly. I've known Wagner a long time. I'll be joining you back to Grofheim with my guards. Ludin looks up for the first time. The woman doesn't react. Why? I work for the king, carrying tithes to the capital. We crossed by chance. Oh, a tax collector. Fine company. What do you want? Just introduce myself. I'll be nice. You collect taxes for the Varl territories. A true pleasure. Yes. An awkwardness hangs in the air like a thick fog. You take the opportunity to depart. So apparently that didn't go as well as I thought it would. We don't have the... Oh, yeah, I was going to say, we thought we didn't have the opportunity to talk to him anymore. We do. We'll come talk to Hokun, I believe. Hakon. Scrivener, which... Is that because we're... Yeah, I don't know what that means. You find Hakon in a mead house surrounded by other Varl. Strand is no stranger to Varl, but rarely sees this many. Hakon waves you over. Went straight for a flagon. Wagner's the one who agreed to pass up a drink. I wasn't invited to the governor's hall anyway. You already missed the massacre. Every year I make the rounds collecting taxes. Every year it's the human settlements that give me trouble. No surprise. What this time? When I got here, the Great Hall was already full of bodies. We added a few more. Aha, humans. I guess if I only lived as long as, yucks fart, I might be desperate to make something of myself too. Oh, the funniness. It's not too late to start trying, Hakon. Hakon lets slip a low chuckle. Any Varl could recount his deeds, known as he is, for cutting a swath through dredge at Wagner's side in the Second War, and regularly since then. Down here, I'm a glorified bodyguard. You might have a point, just another reason to get back to Grofheim. Sure enough, I imagine. You drink until the meat house becomes overbearing, then step back into the cold air outside. Alright, I think we gotta go to the Great Hall, and that is it. -1 supplies. We're down to 99. Oh no! At dawn, you're awoken by a delivery of goods. At least you think it's dawn. Hard to tell with the sun that never moves. The governor's crest adorns the supply leathers. All there, just as promised to your mild surprise. You wonder if Eric had anything to do with that. Plus 20 renown. Got more renown from that than the two battles. Your guards take the treasure wagon down to the gates. Wagner is already here. A while later, Ludin and his men appear, groggy and disheveled. Boger steps forward. Wagner is quartermaster, if you recall correctly, in charge of his unwieldy entourage of warriors. You know him only in passing. He asks if you're ready to depart. We are ready. You follow Moger and join the others. Usually the smaller doors set into the gates would be enough to enter or leave the city, but the town guards have been told to push them open entirely. They mutter things under their breath that are best not heard. Perhaps the governor expected you to draw a crowd, but there's nothing of the sort. Just frustrated, tired people. It summarizes Strand well as a whole, you think. Okay, guess we're moving on. There's our little banner. I think it's cool seeing the thing in the far background. Oh wow, we just trained a big chunk of supplies. Up to 85 fighters, 366 Varl. I know that has something to do with something. It matters for something. I just don't remember what. The caravan stops for the day. A gift, says Moger, cracking open a mead cask. From our gracious friend, the governor of Strand. Hours pass with raucous laughter as the mead is passed throughout the camp. We'll toast. You raise your drink, toasting the alliance between man and Varl. The others join in. Ludin's expression is like a stone wall, but the others laugh at your exaggerations. Eventually, you sit down beside Wagner. And we'll chat with him. Thanks for the speech, slurs Wagner. Looks like you didn't have to miss out after all. Thanks to Moger, I thought the governor would never shut up. Did he give you the history of his entire family? He tried, then he asked me to clean up his mess. For your benefit, turns out. I had given the job to you, too. Gods, there's no joy in politics. Speaking of, what happens after this business with Ludin? Hopefully the boy goes back to arboring on his own, and I can take some frustration on Dredge or something. Take out some frustration on Dredge. Starting to sound like Hekon. You don't like the life of a diplomat? Haha, don't you miss the fight, Ubin? You down your meat instead of replying. Wagner slouches and shakes his head. There's no great joy in killing Dredge, but pretty sure this nonsense is some scheme between the two kings to force some kind of lineage. Used to be, warriors would follow you for what you've done. Isn't that why they follow you now? Is it? Or is it because I'm the next in line? These lines are getting muddy, old Varl. They've always been muddy, Wagner. Wagner stares into the campfire, lost in thought. You leave him to it. Alright, you rise groggily, the campsite a casualty of merriment. Wagner's already kicking warriors awake when you spot Ludin stalking your direction. He sidesteps sleeping bodies. Better wake up, you nudge Wagner. You're needed. Ah, it's Ludin. Always a pleasure. You look well rested. Wagner releases a caged yawn and receives a hard-eyed stare in return. How long to Grafheim? Says Ludin. Ha, we're only 2 days out of Strand, you know. Come, I'll show you on a map. Pretty cool looking map. This is the map of the world. You can explore it by dragging the mouse to pan and using the mouse wheel to zoom. So we got... That's actually a pretty big map. I don't remember a lot. There's some parts of this I remember. There's a lot of this I do not remember. Location of your caravan is indicated by Ubin's icon. Makes sense. The world map is covered with many locations and holds much lore. You can explore the map at any time, clicking on locations for more information. So I can like... There's some mountains up there. There's this little section. There's the wandering road, which appears to be what we're on. So yeah, pretty cool. We head north, then east, past the forts. Grafheim's far from Strand. Going to be a long march. You should have drank less last night. You should have drank last night, Ludin. Why not take the ships to Skrymerstead? What's the point of marching? The Silverstone Bay is called that for a reason. It stays covered in ice all year. It would tear up the longships. Too bad, though. We could have shown you all the wonders of Skrymerstead. A half-sunken city crawling with dredge prints. Dredge and glaciers. You like glaciers? Ludin excels through the nose, a poor disguise for his contempt. He turns and bats aside the tent flaps as he goes, barking at his company in the distance. Don't poke the anthill, Wagner. He seems no happier to be here than you. Spend a few more days with the boy, old friend. You'll be looking for a tall cliff to hop off of, too. Ludin's got a shorter wick than Hekon. Thanks, Wagner. Let's get moving. Another half day to Vetterfell, if we're lucky. Alright, camp. Camp is where you manage your caravan. During travel, you can enter camp at any time by tapping the camp button on the travel HUD. While at camp or in town, you can upgrade your allies or equip items in the hero's tents. You can pass time by using the rest tent. Resting will improve the caravan's morale. A high morale will reduce casualties in war and affect your willpower in combat. Each passing day will use supplies, so only rest when necessary. The training tent will allow you to safely try out any characters in a mock battle. Tap leave at the bottom of the campsite when you're ready to get back on the road. Or back to the road. Alright, so we got heroes, training, rest. I don't think we need to rest right now, so we'll go look at the heroes real quick, just because I'm curious. Click on a unit to view stats, promote ranks, and learn about abilities. Click the ability button to learn about this unit's ability. This is Moger. Bring the pain. Strikes an adjacent enemy for armor break damage before hunkering down and boosting his passive ability. Return the favor. To return even more break damage for 1 turn. By using Bring the Pain, he can create a forward charge that punishes enemies for ganging up against him. Normal break attack plus run to return the favor, blah, blah, blah. So he's got a passive return the favor, which I'm assuming is like a counter strike. Enemies attack at him lose 1 point of armor for each strike. For each strike the character. For each strike the character? Feels like that's not parsed correctly, that sentence. Return the favor triggers every time he takes damage from an adjacent enemy, which can make it devastating to hit with attacks that strike multiple times. Okay. So enemies that do like short yeah, that makes sense. We have no points available for him. What's this? Okay. A little bit information about him. We got Ganulf. He's a Warhawk. That big away ability. We'll come back to him in a second because we know he's got a promotion. There's Luden. No promotions available for him. His ability is Impale. Skewers his enemy doing normal strength damage before kicking them away, doing knockback, and causing them to bleed if they move on their next turn. A target who is bleeding will take 1 strength damage for each tile they move. Interesting. Which can be especially deadly for enemies that are moved against their will. That's pretty cool. Passive ability. Each kill the character makes encourages allies to fight harder, granting 1 willpower to the unit and any adjacent allies. That's pretty cool. So we want to keep him nearby other people. Good to know. I was going to say, I didn't want to, we don't have any points. I was just trying to see if that would tell me what that is. Is this just shield break or something? I guess this is shield break ability. Hakan, he's a War Master. So we got a War Hawk and a War Master. Got it. So he's got a Sundering Impact. The character hits even harder than an average warrior with no chance to miss. He can wreak havoc with an additional +1 strength and also adds 1 break damage to the target, plus bonuses to heavy impact. Sundering Impact is best used when carefully positioned to impact as many enemies around the target as possible in a single strike. So it's like a... Is it probably some sort of cone, maybe? As opposed to an AoE? Heavy Impact. The character hits so hard that enemies standing adjacent to his target on a strength attack take 1 strength damage from the shockwave. Okay. So any enemies adjacent to his target. Hitting a large target like a Varl or Dredge who takes up 4 tiles can potentially cause an impact across many more victims than hitting a single tile target such as a human. That makes a lot of sense as well. Cool. So we got Mogre. Already did that Mogre. Where's us? I guess we don't count as a hero on here. Alright, so we do have a promotion for Gunulf. Already looked at his Tempest ability. Currently hits up to 2 enemies, can hit up to 3 or 4. That's good to know. He also has a heavy impact. Interesting. So that's his passive is similar. So how do we do this? Oh, we don't have any points available. Oh no, here we go. Promote. There we go. The greatest warriors on the battlefield are those who live past their first battles and start a journey down the path to legend. Okay. Sure. I don't think there's any reason not to promote. It does cost us renown, but seems like a reasonable idea. This unit has points available to spend on improving stats. Activate one of the plus buttons. Okay, so we can activate any of these things. I mean, this guy is going to be primarily a damage dealer, right? That's really what we're here for. What is this? I just don't know what those are. Some of those other things are. I mean, I feel like just giving him as much damage as possible is probably a really good idea. Because that's what he's here for. Willpower could also be useful. Let him move into his positions better. I think I'm definitely going to give him some of that. I was hoping it would tell me what these are. That's just not going to. Oh, wait a minute. That's what the question mark is for. Armor blocks damage. Yeah, that makes sense. Your strength minus their armor equals damage. Strength is both damage and health. Yeah, so we definitely want to boost his health if we can. Willpower is spent to move further, hit harder, and perform your ability, but does not replenish. Yeah, that makes sense. Exertion is the amount of willpower you can use on any given action. Oh, okay. Break is the amount of direct damage you can naturally do to the enemy's armor. Cool. All right, good to know. That's helpful. So we do definitely want him to be able to have some good willpower because that's what he needs to use his ability up here. Obviously, having more of this will allow him to use more willpower at a time. I think for this very first promotion, we're just going to just double up on the strength. But I do see adding some willpower as a very, very good idea for this guy going forward. Cool. I like it. I don't think anybody else had anything else, so we're good. He's definitely our strongest, just straight up warrior. Whereas Mogre is our best defense at the moment, it looks like. We do have a roster down here. So I think, okay, that's right. We do get more heroes later on that we can plug into this party. And it looks like we can only have 6 at a time. That makes sense. I don't know if training makes any sense. I mean, I'll go click on it just to look, but I don't think we need to do this. For example, put archers after melee so they can stay safe behind your heavy hitters. That makes sense. I mean, honestly, on that note, if the order matters, then I kind of want you to be last. I think. Put our big hitters up front and let you do some stuff later. I feel like this guy being first is probably okay for now. I don't know. We'll go with something like that, but I don't think I'm going to do the training. How do I escape out of this? Can I just escape? No, I cannot. No. All right, fine. We'll just do a quick ready for battle. I just wanted to see. Training tent allows you to test your party against a team of clansmen of equal power. Training fights never injure your allies or grant renown, but they do let you test strategies in safety. The trainer will give hints about playing effectively and has something to say about each ability. Come here to test out new characters as they join you. I don't think we need to do this, to be honest. I think we'll figure it out as we do actual battles. All right, I don't think we need to rest. Morale is great, so we're good there. I don't think there's anything else we need to do. I think we can just leave. Not seeing any other clickables that I'm missing. There's Winterfell.
Means bad weather, where frozen wind sweeps in from the bay. They tend livestock, but most are just men driven from Strand with nowhere else to go. Why else would anyone stay? We won't stop long.
By Harderborg. That's a lot of Varl for some missing cattle. What? A couple days back, sent word to Strand about the cattle. Didn't expect an army. He looks pleased with himself until it sinks in that you aren't here on his behalf. Where have your cattle gone? Wouldn't know. My boy's seen men up the hills carrying them away. Don't know many men who can hoist a whole cow by himself. Scufflings out here. Maybe could they have Varl working for them? Not from what the governor told me. I'm going to take a look around and get the camp set up. The peasant spits, his eyes anxiously darting about as the caravan sets up tents. We'll be here no more than a day. There's silver for any food you've got. For hundreds of Varl, are you serious? Whatever you're willing to sell. You thinking of squatting? Not enough room for a couple hunters here. Forget hundreds of... Shut up, hear that? Where's Luden? It's faint, sounds like fighting and something else. It con takes off at a run. Oh, he's by himself. Is he actually strong enough to knock back one of these big bad guys? There's our good morale. We've only got 5 from the good morale because it dropped down from great before we started. I mean, I feel like we need to move over here and see if we can like do a good attack here. Why is it not letting us do here anything? Oh, we just wants us to move here, huh? Click wants to make a waypoint. Oh. Interesting. Spearman can attack diagonally. Okay, that's good to know. And up to 2 tiles away. Click the top right banner to compare your stats with the enemies. Oh, this. Okay. Now click the enemy to target. Armor blocks attacks on strength. For each enemy armor higher than your strength, there's a 10% chance the attack will be deflected. Notice the chance to hit shown above the attack button. Attack the enemy's strength. Deflected. Deflected attacks do no damage. From here on out, you will fail catastrophically if you don't break armor. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Damaging both strength and armor is equally important. Really? You're just gonna let my guy get killed right off the bat? Alright, so it looks like we're gonna need to do some damage to his armor to make this worth our while. So Sundering Impact adds added strength and armor damage to target and adjacent enemies. Well, there's no adjacent enemies, so I don't know that we want to do that one actually after all. So So I think we'll just attack this guy straight up. And we'll attack his armor. And I think we are going to use as much willpower as we can, because we'd like to do as much damage to this guy as we can up front. Get him out of the way. I mean, this is the strongest guy here, as it seems. So we have Tempest, but again, there's not really any AoE here, so I think we're just going to do a normal attack here. So we could do more damage here because we've done some armor damage, and I think this is the right move. This is still blue. Good stuff. You just bring the pain, which, you know, as they do attacks to us, could be good. Yeah, sure, why not? Try the bring the pain ability. Get rid of a little bit of armor here. Oh, that's a big hit. So 3 actual damage or 2 shield break. Now, if we break 2 shield, that does set it up a better hit for him, potentially. But then again, if we just do a straight up attack, I think we might actually be able to kill him. Especially if we use a little bit of willpower. I think we're going to use as much willpower as we can. We got to get rid of this guy. They're just ganging up on our guy. I mean, it makes sense. It's a smart thing to do. Yeah, I think we just got to get this rid of... Oh, he's only... That's right. This guy's... That's so little damage. Oh, no. Sorry. What we want to do is... We want to do a Tempest here, I think. That did... Not as much damage as I was hoping it would do. Alright, so we could just come over here and potentially finish this guy off. No, we're like really not going to do that much damage to him. I mean, at this point, I guess we got to get rid of some more shield. Is that the smart move here? I mean, obviously this guy's out, right? Like, he's about to get beat up. Alright, so we can just do a straight damage, no extra willpower, which we don't have anyway. Get rid of this guy completely. Using the horn will give 1 willpower to the active ally. That's pretty cool. Do we retreat at this point? I mean, I feel like if we retreat, they're just going to chase him down though, right? I mean, we got to learn what happens when we quote unquote die, or anyway, like, I don't know if, do we die or do we just sort of die? Like, I honestly don't know. Yeah, I guess we're gonna do some shield damage here. Okay, so we're down. Again, I don't know if we die, but figured it was worth a shot seeing what happens. I think we might actually die, so 2 hits, potentially 2 damage attacks here will kill this guy anyway, so I don't think we need to do any more shield damage. Not enough willpower. If we give you some willpower from this... Yep, okay. I only did 1 damage to him. I guess I could have done it the other way around and done a little bit more damage, but that's alright. So we'll finish this guy off, obviously. It's easy enough. And we'll finish this guy off easy enough. So did we straight up lose him? Oh, he's just been injured. Okay, good to know. I couldn't remember, honestly. You're trying to get yourself killed, Luden. What are you doing? So Luden didn't get injured. That's interesting. I was trying to get a shot in between the plates. Okay. You never seen a dredge before, boy? What kind of idiot? Break their armor first. Where did they come from? We didn't even see them. They were just there. Hakan goes to where Vogner lies down, face down. The future Varl King lies motionless, aside from a spreading pool of blood. Uh-oh. I did not realize he was dead. Wagner's dead. Cut with keen-edged sword. Oh, that's right. Where did that thing come from? This is where we get to play as different people. That's right. Shh, stay close. I think it saw us. Deployment happens before battle. Click your units, Rook and Alette, to deploy them within the blue squares. Click ready to start the battle. I mean, I don't have any specific reason to put one anywhere else. I mean, I think I'll just move them both up to the front. That'll be fine. Alright, so this is obviously... Oh, you can actually hit from a distance? You have move, mark prey, attack, and rest. Mark prey does armor break damage. All allies within range attack the marked target. Oh, interesting. Alright. Oh, so how do I move? Okay, let's move. So we'll move you to there. And I guess we'll mark the prey. Oh, we can't mark you. Oh, he is an archer. I didn't see his bow on his back. I saw his axe in his hand. Okay, fine. We'll do as much damage as we can here. Obviously, we probably want to get rid of as much shield damage as we can before we do anything else. I will continue to use as much willpower as I can to break through as quickly as possible here. I mean, we can shoot from right here, and there's really doesn't seem to be any more benefit to moving closer with her. So I think we just attack with her. Thread the needle. Hits all units between the archer and the target, doing bonus armor break damage. Sounds pretty cool. I mean, there's only one unit here, but if it does more armor break damage... Oh, I only did one. Okay, maybe I misunderstood what it was going to do. Alright, so we're up to being able to do 3 damage here. Yeah, that probably seems like a reasonable idea, especially if we throw in a little bit of willpower. In theory, she could kill it off herself. This whole concept of breaking armor and then doing damage kind of thing is kind of... It's definitely different. I think it's a little bit different than we've seen in games like this. So is this renown added to our global renown, or is this renown added to just this group? That I don't remember. Was that a dredge? Alette looks calm, but you can tell her heart is about to beat right out of her chest. It was. Let me see. Are you hurt? No, I'll be fine. When the dredge attacked your cart and the yaks bolted, it spilled most of your supplies. You can see more dark figures moving through the trees when you glance that direction. All that food. That's the last we're going to get before winter. What do we do? Don't run. Let me think. We'll ask if she can handle more of them. No, Dad. I mean, we're already lucky to be alive. I know. It's okay. Let's get back to score. Okay, that's fine. So, father and daughter. So, nope. This is different renown, it looks like. Interesting. Supplies represent food and other goods used to keep everyone alive on the road. When supplies are gone, people will start to die of starvation. The more people are in the caravan, the faster supplies will diminish. That makes sense. You can see how many days of supply you have left on the travel display at the top of the screen. Most towns will have supplies to sell as well as a few items. So we have 3 days of supply. And this is... Okay, this is the timer for the days. Morale declined. We're just at normal morale now.
never expected to see the dredge with my own eyes. What happened in the north? Already we see more between the trees as we approach our home, and Alette grips my hand tight. We must find Ivor.
Oh, there's one right there. That's cool. Oh, there's more. Actually, I see a lot more now. All right, I'm actually going to go ahead and put a cut in there a little bit over time, but that's okay. We'll come back and we'll see how Rook and Alette are doing on their side of the world. But I do appreciate you guys watching. May God bless you, and I hope you join me again next time. Thank you, and goodbye. I wanted to give a special shout out to the following channel members. Thank you so much for supporting the channel.